Welcome to the Great Financial Story, a YouTube channel dedicated to exploring the most significant financial events in history. From financial bubbles and market crashes to economic booms and busts, we dive deep into the stories behind the numbers to give you a better understanding of how the financial world works. In this video we will discuss about the conspiracies behind Federal Reserve. Conspiracy theories about the Federal Reserve, the central banking system of the United States, have been around for decades. These theories often center around the idea that the Federal Reserve is secretly controlled by a small group of bankers who manipulate the economy for their own benefit. While it is true that the Federal Reserve is a quasi-independent government agency and is not subject to the direct control of the President or Congress, these conspiracy theories are not based on evidence and are often false. The Federal Reserve was created in 1913 in response to a series of financial panics that had plagued the U.S. economy in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The Federal Reserve Act established the Federal Reserve as a quasi-independent government agency with the authority to regulate the supply of money and credit in the U.S. economy. The Federal Reserve is made up of three key components: the Board of Governors, the 12 regional Federal Reserve banks, and the Federal Open Market Committee, FOMC. The Board of Governors, also known as the Federal Reserve Board, is a 7-member board appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate. The board is responsible for setting monetary policy, regulating the operations of the Federal Reserve banks, and overseeing the banking system. There are many conspiracy theories about the Federal Reserve and how it operates. Some of the most common theories include: Number 1, the Federal Reserve is secretly controlled by a small group of bankers who manipulate the economy for their own benefit. This theory suggests that the Federal Reserve is controlled by a small group of bankers who use their influence to benefit themselves and their colleagues at the expense of the broader economy. Proponents of this theory often point to the fact that the Federal Reserve is a quasi-independent government agency and is not subject to the direct control of the President or Congress as evidence of this alleged control. Number 2, the Federal Reserve is creating money out of thin air and causing inflation. Some conspiracy theorists believe that the Federal Reserve is creating money out of thin air and causing inflation by increasing the supply of money in the economy. This theory is often based on a misunderstanding of how the Federal Reserve operates. While it is true that the Federal Reserve has the ability to create new money and influence the supply of money in the economy, it does so in a carefully controlled manner and is required to follow certain rules and regulations. Number 3, the Federal Reserve is working with other governments and central banks to create a one-world currency. This theory suggests that the Federal Reserve is working with other governments and central banks around the world to create a single, global currency. Proponents of this theory often point to the existence of organizations like the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and the Bank for International Settlements, BIS, as evidence of this alleged conspiracy. Conspiracy theories about the Federal Reserve are not based on evidence and are often false. It is important to remember that the Federal Reserve is a quasi-independent government agency that is subject to oversight and regulation, and that its primary mandate is to promote a stable and efficient financial system. While the Federal Reserve does have the ability to influence the supply of money and join us as we journey through the history of money and markets, and learn how the decisions of policymakers and investors have shaped the world we live in today. Whether you're a seasoned investor or just starting to learn about finance, there's something for everyone on the Great Financial Story. Stay tuned for our upcoming videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on the latest financial stories. Thanks for watching.